Chest up, shoulders back. This is Revival Fitness, and it's 1 in the morning here. I did not anticipate making this video, but I saw a lot of people commenting on it. Some people have asked me to discuss this, so we might as well, because I care so much about you guys. And full disclosure, I've never seen a single piece of this guy's content. I've heard his name once or twice over the past few years. I originally thought he was somebody else named Dylan. I also, when I first heard the name, thought he was that other guy. What's his name? Lex Luger? I can't keep up with all this. I try to tell you guys the truth about this subject over and over and over, and this is why I refuse to take this topic seriously. It's just barking up a tree that nobody's in. It's ultimately just empty words, because for every 1 or 2 people that actually see the light and they're like, oh wow, you're actually being honest about this, there's going to be a new wave of 10,000 noobs in the gym, namely teenagers, who fall for this stuff, and they will just defend these guys. They will cross oceans to fight for their honor, even though they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. I see this on Instagram every single day I go on there, man. I'm sitting there taking a dump, and I'm just scrolling through the Discover feed, and some kid pops up who is full, vascular, very, very lean, strong as hell, and it's almost a game I play with myself, like, okay, he claims Natty for sure. Click on his page, sure enough, 20, natural. It is a carbon copy, it's a cookie cutter, it's Model T. Take a bunch of juice, and you guys think they're only taking maybe a little bit, they're taking a lot. Take juice, claim natural, and impress a bunch of gullible teenagers. And you make a bunch of money. So we can see Dylan's channel here. He's got the freaking Comic Sans font as his banner. Before we even dive into his recent video, I want to scroll down because I wanted to get an idea of what his physique has looked like. And I'm not going to watch all these videos. I've kind of just pieced through a little bit of them to see if I can get an idea of if there was a chance the guy was natty, or, how egregious he was lying, I should say. And, you see these thumbnails, and once again, these are going to be edited, of course, but you look at these, and especially given the age and where he started, this one is a good example. Guys will be like, okay, maybe it's suspicious, and it's like, no, it's not maybe suspicious. Given the time frame, that's one of the most important things, man, because a lot of these physiques, that's how these guys always get out of these debates, and people who call them out, before the fanboy pit bulls start barking and snarling and growling, we're barking at them, they will say, oh, well, it's natty attainable. And it's like, okay, perhaps this physique right here is natty attainable, but what is the time frame it's going to take? Teenagers on the internet think you're going to attain this physique right here in 3 years or something in that range. And it's like, bro, do you understand this right here, and this one right here, and this right here, and this right here, and this right here, right? I mean, it's just in all these thumbnails. You guys understand if you're going to attain this naturally, which some people genetically simply are not going to do, that's going to take you probably closer to a decade. That is 10 years, man. So the time frame a lot of guys have right off the bat of what they can achieve naturally is extremely off base because of the endless lying. And on top of that, too, a lot of these so-called natural physiques, natty attainable, they're not even natty attainable. I've discussed this before, and I call this the fitness litmus test. Meaning, if you see this so-called transformation that he says took place over 2 to 3 years, and you think there's any chance he did this fully naturally, you are just ignorant. It's that simple, man. I don't care what argument you have, it's always going to be the same things too, guys. Oh, well, what are you, just jealous, bro? Oh, it's the angle and the lighting and the pump, bro. Oh, you're complimenting him, bro. There's always this one too. It's just genetics. It's always his top genetics. It's like, you guys ever notice how every single fitness influencer somehow has top 3% genetics? You ever notice that? It's mathematically impossible. But every single guy, every single 20-something that gets massive, even now these guys are in their late teens, and they're winning bodybuilding competitions. Oh, it's just elite genetics, bro. Right. That's why he's just a random guy who decided to get off his ass and lift weights. He was not a scholarship athlete or anything like that, but he's genetically elite. But this one right here really stood out to me. This is what I used in my thumbnail. He claims this is a 2-year transformation. And you can see, I mean, he's got solid frame, without a doubt. He is skinny. I mean, his head is almost the size of his torso. And then you see this right here. Like I just said, guys, if you believe that you can go from this to this in the span of 2 years, I will just say you are in for a rude awakening.
Where do I start? Honestly, I never really thought I would make this video. I'm guessing
most people never would. So, I mean, props to him, if anything, for that.
A lot of you are probably going to feel pretty let down by this. You might even feel a bit betrayed. And but I'm guessing you probably just feel lied to.
That's a very key point I've tried to make with you guys, because he mentioned it there, right? The betrayal and, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. You cannot be surprised about this. This is the fitness industry, guys. Like I just mentioned earlier. You take PEDs and claim that you didn't, so people look at you more and buy whatever you're promoting. I mean, guys, it's a very simple business model. So whenever people get really betrayed, it's really because you have emotions invested, because you think whatever person you watch is one of the good ones, right? Oh, well, I can achieve what he did the right way. You know, that bullshit. I'm morally superior. I didn't cheat. You know, even though a lot of these guys that take PEDs, they're not even cheating, right? They don't compete in natural shows, even though most of the natural show guys are taking stuff anyway. But, you know, there's just this weird morality and like right way thing about this. Bro, you guys have got to detach emotionally from this. That's the reason, you know, the fanboys defend this so vehemently, because they want their mental fantasy to be true. And that's why they white knight for these guys, even whenever it's just getting, or has been, patently obvious that someone's juicing. And people, again, they get really upset. Oh, you're jealous and you're a hater, all this stuff. It's like, no, bro, I'm just giving input. Anybody else that talks about this stuff and calls it out is just giving their input, especially experienced lifters who can see it from a mile away, while all the 18-year-olds are just sitting there like seals clapping.
And that's because you have been. I lied to you. So clearly, I'm a piece of shit, right? I never asked any of you to look up to me. I'm not your God. I am not a king. I am a man. I am fallible. All I ever wanted to do on here was to be relatable and to be personal, to be your friend.
Well, I will say, a young man taking PEDs and lying about it, that's getting more relatable by the day. You know, I was talking to somebody earlier. The amount of high schoolers now that use gear, I've told you guys before, man, the amount of people in general that use gear, far beyond what most people can wrap their head around. You guys really think it's only high-level bodybuilders and stuff. No, man, this stuff is everywhere. In every country, all over the place. Most people that use gear look DYEL. They're still stuck in novice purgatory. I know it's hard for you guys to wrap your head around that, but that's the reality of the situation. But he is on point there, because people look at these influencers as superior beings in a lot of cases. I think that's also why the emotions run so high. It's like I said, it's that ideal. Like, I can do it because he did it. Probably not.
I never asked to be pedestalized. I never asked for any of that. So I want to make it very clear, in this video, I will not be apologizing for a mistake I made.
Ooh, he's not going to apologize. He's standing on business.
I'm simply owning up to that mistake and taking accountability as a man. And that is why you will not hear me say sorry today.
You just said it.
Because the truth of the matter is, right, is making this video right now is debatably one of the most selfless things I have ever done in my entire life.
Whoa, he's going to take the victim kind of route here. Ooh, no wonder people got upset about this. This is interesting.
You know, the real truth of it is that I could continue to lie about this, keep making money from it, and none of you would ever know.
I told you. I will say he's being, you know, as odd as this kind of is right now, he's out in nature in the wilderness, you know, maybe pretending he's meditating or something. He's opening the fourth wall. He's pulling the curtain. That's basically a phrase meaning he's addressing that which should not be addressed. I mean, he's right. Whenever he says you guys, he means the vast majority of his audience, which are gullible teenagers. Yeah, they would believe it forever. And there's far more egregious examples of fake natties than even this guy. And these guys believe it forever. And the other people that, well, they don't actually believe it, but they go along with it, are the other fakes. Understand this about fake natties, guys. They always run in packs. I might make a video about, like, the top signs of fake natties. Might be my last video about this topic, because I just can't keep rehashing the same thing over and over. But these guys know better. They know their associates take stuff. They know they take stuff. They know all these other people do. They're not going to tell you because they all use the same business model. That's what this is, man.
Just as most of your favorite fitness influencers do. And do you know why they do that? Sure, yes, some of them likely use it for financial and social gain, of course. But the real reason is because the fitness industry is toxic as shit.
Yes, it is.
I am going to be crucified for this shit. And that is why people are so afraid to talk about it.
Exactly. This is why I go with the self-righteous natties so hard. Because they're one of the biggest reasons why guys don't talk about this, because of that social stigma. Now, if that stigma was removed, how honest would people be totally? Given the incentives to lie. By the way, if you've ever said something like, why would an influencer lie about taking stuff? You're a complete moron. This is why so many people who actually would discuss this topic, this is why they don't. Because people say, oh, these fake natties need to come clean. And then one of them finally does, and then it's gonna be, oh, you scumbag, bad influence, immoral, sinner, criminal, right? You guys can't have it both ways, man. And their response would be, well, just don't take stuff in the first place. Yeah, you guys live in an idealistic Disney world.
Logistically speaking, this is a very stupid decision I'm making to talk about this. Specifically, financially. Right now, I'm making more money than I ever have in my entire life. I made 10 grand off of YouTube alone last month. And the reality of this is that this could cause a lot of you to withdraw your support from me and essentially undermine everything I have worked so hard to build. But I cannot profit off a lie anymore.
Hey, I give him credit, man, I do. Why would someone lie about it?
Now, this has eaten me alive for some time now. You know, the way I see it, you guys gave me this platform and you can take it away if you want.
That would technically be Google, but I get it.
If I'm to be crucified on the internet for telling the truth, and that is my fate, then I accept my fate. So yeah, just over 3 years ago now, I took a SARM.
Oh no. Dude, is he gonna claim he just did a SARM? Oh no. I'm hoping he elaborates and goes into all the stuff he took. Because if you guys think you're going to get the physique that we looked at, that he has on his channel, I don't know if he looks exactly like that now, but if you think you're going to get that with a SARM, I'm going to edit the only SARMs onto his hoodie there. You can grab that at chesthairgang.com if you want one. Oh boy. Here we go. This is going to get good.
Now, this is not quite a traditional steroid. You know, this is probably a category below, but nonetheless, it is still a performance-enhancing drug. The compound that I took was MK2866, more commonly known as ostarine. I purchased them in 15 milligram tablets, and I cut them in half. So I was taking 7.5 milligrams of ostarine every day, and I did that for a month and some change.
Bro, you guys understand 7.5 mg ostarine? That's a woman's dose. As a guy, I mean, you could get the worst of both. I mean, you could potentially shut down your natural test and you're not going to see, you may see no results from that low of a dose. He's not being honest. Like I've said before too, the guys that do open up about this, they downplay heavily what they actually took. The best example of that is only TRT. You see these guys only TRT. They're on the IFBB Pro stage. Like, bro, it's completely bottomless, the lying about this topic, and it's gone on for decades and decades. What did Arnold say in the interview a few months ago? We did 125 testosterone and 1 D-bot.
I am not trying to defend what I did or sugarcoat what I did by any means, but understand that women who take ostarine, they take more than that.
Yeah.
This was an extremely minimal and conservative dose of the drug I was taking. Right off the top of my head, I remember it making me significantly stronger.
Dude, is he gonna say that's all he did? Oh my god. Dylan, I had some respect going for you, but really, this is what you're gonna go with? Why would you admit this if you're gonna say you took that little dose? I don't know, man, he might be trolling. I've said a lot as well, guys. A lot of people now put natural in their bio and claim it all the time, sarcastically, because the entire topic is such a joke. You know, I don't know this guy's content, so I don't know his overall vibe and sense of humor and stuff. But he gives me kind of squirrely vibes. You know, it's hard to kind of read him right now, but we'll see.
It definitely leaned out my physique, but not only that, it definitely dried out the body. It just made me appear a lot less watery. In lame terms, what it did for me is it just gave me this freaky, unnatural look that you could not achieve.
Guys, 7.5 mgs of ostarine for a month. I don't encourage you to try that out because it's not a good idea, but if your lab rat tries that out, see how it goes for you.
As far as size goes, I don't remember it making me exceptionally bigger than I already was.
Of course not, bro. It was a woman's dose for a month.
But I do remember putting on some size. What it seemed to do for me, and this is like the best way I can articulate it, is it seemed to keep me the same size, but it just made me drastically leaner at that size. It was crazy. It was wild. So yeah, you should definitely take it.
He's laughing. Let's see.
Don't take it. Based off my research, this was the friendliest and safest inside the SARM community in terms of side effects. And considering it was my first time taking anything.
I mean, maybe that's the first thing he ever took, but it cascaded into much more than that.
You know, I just wanted to get my feet wet. Little did I know this was the start of a living nightmare for me. It completely crashed my testosterone. I was between 1 and 200 for a very long time. I had severe depression, my dick didn't work, and I had no motivation to do anything ever. I could barely move. I was so tired. I lost a lot of muscle. I lost everything I had gained from the performance enhancing drug. So I lost all the size I had gained from the drug and more. And on top of that, I was now left with cripplingly low testosterone levels.
If you guys would like to get your own hormone levels checked, you can use code revival25 at trylgc.com/revival, an at-home hormone test. He tanked his levels, which, as I mentioned, you could very well do that on a very low dose. Now, it's funny what he just mentioned, because he said he really didn't gain any size. Then he says, oh, I came off and I lost the size. What he claims is just that little bit of ostarine for a month. He probably did a full-blown cycle with numerous compounds for however many months he did it, and then he got dramatic results. And then he came off for, I mean, there's all kinds of reasons. The health purposes, you lose your source, you can't afford it, whatever's going on. I mean, a lot of these younger guys, man, they still live at home with their parents. I find that very amusing, right? Like, you know, typically like your mom would find like a joint in your room. She's like, oh my goodness, Dylan, are you smoking the devil's lettuce? Or something like that. She finds like a 6-pack of beer. Your mom goes in your room and finds like syringes and vials. She'd be like, what?
I've spent the past 3 years of my life naturally nursing my testosterone levels back to health.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And I have been completely drug-free, completely natural since then.
Once again, just stop.
My current physique is completely natural, and I look the best I ever have in my entire life.
Oh my god. Okay, this dude's a politician, like all these other guys, you know? I mean, he's delivering the lines, and he's got that nice, calm demeanor, like, I am the best I've ever looked, and I am natural. Never ends, bro. Never ends.
I'm cutting weight right now, so I am a bit weak, but a couple months ago when I was bulked up, I was the strongest I've ever been in my entire life as well. I am firmly against the use of anabolic steroids and will continue to push the natural agenda inside bodybuilding and will champion for overall natural progression.
Man, fuck the natural agenda. That's another thing about this. Someone like me will come on this platform or wherever else, and I'll call this type of thing out, and then people think I'm one of these natural zealots just because I call it out. Bro, I dislike the natural zealots pretty much as I dislike these type of guys, bro. I don't like any of these people. This is why I'm not very friendly with most people in this space. Everybody is a self-serving narcissist. The vast majority of people. It is extremely rare you can find somebody in the fitness space that is like down to earth, honest, you know, easy to talk to, not serving some type of agenda. That's what the natural agenda is, bro. You take gear and you lie about it.
And that's why you can expect to continue to see me make content catering towards natural lifters, and that's why I will be marketing myself as well as my current physique as natural.
Notice, he said I will be marketing myself as natural. I said a long time ago, guys, and I got flack for it, of course. Natural is nothing more than a marketing term. That's all it is. You throw it in the bio, in the hashtags, claim it. It's marketing, it drives eyeballs, it drives attention. That's it. It means nothing else. It does not tangibly mean anything. Now, to the natural obsessed crowd, they get all worked up and emotional. Natural means you've never taken a steroid, drug-free, blah, blah. Bro, you understand natural, if you want to be technical about it, means you've just never been caught on a drug test or a polygraph. If you fail a polygraph, you're just, God help you. But you are natural technically. You could be on all the steroids in the world. You could be Mike O'Hearn, you could be Doug Miller, you could be any one of these guys who were upper echelon fakes. No question about it to anybody who's sane. You're still natural. The only way you can tangibly prove someone's not natural is if they fail a test. I talk about Greg Doucette in the past as well. Guys, he would claim natural to this day. To this day! I would bet money on it if he never got popped. That's how it goes, man, because we can on the internet talk about this all day, but tangibly speaking, unless a test is failed or you have some video proof of somebody taking something, you can't say foolproof that they are not natural. That's the ultimate kind of mind warp about this topic, because even if it's painfully obvious, imagine we're in a courtroom setting and the judge is like, well, where's your proof? Because, right, assume the judge is a normal person, doesn't understand weights, they just think everyone eats chicken, rice, and broccoli, can get huge in a few months, right? Like a lot of normies do. What's your proof? You're like, oh, but look at him, the delts and the traps and the whatever, right, all the stuff we talk about, and then the judge is like, but where's your proof? Has he failed a drug test? And you're like, no. He's natural. You see? You guys also might be surprised to know that a lot of these so-called natural federations, they only test the top 1, 2, or 3 contestants. Everybody else doesn't even get tested. They can barely afford to pay out the prize money. You think they can afford to test dozens, if not hundreds of people? And even then, drug tests are easy to beat, particularly when you know the date that it's coming. You guys can think this is a conspiracy theory or something. You can look this up on your own if you want, how to beat drug tests. It's not hard.
For example, when somebody asks me in person if I'm natural, I say yes.
I mean, why the fuck not at this point?
Because my current physique is representative and indicative of a natural body.
Probably not.
I'm not asking you to completely agree with me here. And I'm not even asking for your forgiveness. I'm simply asking that you respect my decision that I made today to be honest. When quite frankly, we live in a world where it's much easier to lie and be deceitful towards each other.
I was with you until you tried to pull that garbage 7.5 mgs of Osterine for a month. See, he still has 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's more than likely doing this as a business strategy because he knows this video is dumb. So I'm also helping him. Took the bait.
That's all I have to say. I don't know why I did it.
Yeah, you do.
Just a stupid kid. I had a tough time growing up. I just never really felt like it was enough.
Oh, is he gonna try to do this whole Freudian childhood psychology bullcrap?
And I think that's why I got into social media in the first place. To get that attention that I never got. And what did I do once I got that attention? I lied to you all. But I hope in time that you can forgive me.
Alright, is this physique natty right here? No. Based on this guy, there's no chance. You can't believe anything he says. Guys believe that you can get this look in like 3 years of natural training. My boy, you are going to learn the hard way. This would be considered suspect, I suppose, but once again, guys, consider the age. Bro, any of these dudes that are teenagers or early 20s, again, they also say this too. Oh, he's been lifting since he was 9 years old, bro. Everybody's been lifting since they were 10 years old, and they have elite genetics too. He's been lifting since the womb, bro. I mean, if this guy wants to compete, I think he definitely could do well. He's just one of many men who just never ends. Just scroll, natural. It's never ending, man. And every day there's a new crop of guys who've done a few cycles. They've gotten impressively bigger and leaner, and they're going to come online and put natural in their bio, and they're going to have good camera angles and lighting and stuff, and they're going to film some content, and a bunch of gullible teenagers are going to flock to them and think they're the new messiah, and it's going to just repeat itself over and over and over. But that's been it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to get in direct contact with me about your own training and eating, Patreon's the best way to one-on-one message me, as well as joining our Discord server. We have hundreds of members there as well. Be sure to check out my programs. These are tested by hundreds of people. Get more gains in less time in the gym, and get out of novice purgatory, and use my links to save money on some great products and services. And I will catch you guys next time.